Hi, superheroes. I am Joel Mahony. I am the creator of Spiritual Superheroes Life Coaching, and today I thought I'd do something a little different. So, before we begin, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell to get the notifications. So, um, today I bring to you all another thing that I have been thinking about, um, and that thing being frequently asked questions to do with my disability. Um, Now, for those of you that have not found me yet, who have yet to tune in to the channel, I was born with Spina Bifida. Um, that has thrown some challenges my way over the last 36 years, but me being the capable individual I am, hence the superhero, I have overcome those challenges and become the superhero that you see before you today. So, um, so here's just a few questions that I get asked on a regular to semi-regular basis. Um, so the number one is, how do you go to the toilet? Now, this one, it's kind of personal. I do get that, but I am open to a lot of questions. The answer to it would be yes, I do go to the toilet, just like everyone else, but differently. I, with the spina bifida, my bladder is different. Um, I actually had to get an augmentation, which is basically rebuilding the bladder because it wasn't fully functioning when I was born. So they rebuilt it, and as a result of that, I have to urinate using a catheter. Um, so that's basically the way that happens. As for the other thing, that's all normal. I do that normally. Have a sit. Um, so yeah, with going to the toilet, I mean, with a slight variation of the way it all goes, I manage. I manage just like everyone else to do that during the day. So hopefully that one clears up some things for some people. Um, the second one would be, how do I shower? Again, a lot of the time, without shame, people ask me a lot of questions that are quite personal. Um, I really don't mind, um, because I'm an open book, and I do welcome any questions of any sorts, because I really don't get embarrassed that easily. So, as far as showering and toileting and things like that, I really am not ashamed of the way I do things because they're just the way I do things. Um, so, yeah, as far as the way I shower, I do use a shower chair because it's hard for me to sit in a shower or things like that. Get in and out of a shower without a shower chair. So I do sit in a chair in the shower a lot of the time. Um, or if I feel like it, I just have a bath. Baths are a lot easier. Um, Now, this one is probably the most personal, I think, but still a relevant question. How do I have sex? Or can I have sex? The answer is yes. um, everything works. And it's just, again, just a normal thing that I can do. Um, Obviously, the mobility plays a part in things. I am restricted with some things, but for the most part, it all works the same. Um, so, number 4 is, and this is probably my favourite one because it makes me laugh every time. Is it fun being in a wheelchair? That makes me go, haha. Um, Now, for the most part, yeah, I will say it is quite fun to be in a wheelchair. I don't have to walk. Um, Walking to me, just by observation of other people, my friends, my family, everyone else, walking does not look like fun. And quite frankly, I have observed a lot of people that have said that at the end of the day, they just want to sit down. Um, Now, why would I want to walk for long periods of time when I can, in fact, sit down whenever I please? It just doesn't seem, I guess, normal to me, if that makes sense. Um, so, the next one is, can I drive? And the answer to that would be yes, I can drive. I can drive with a modified car, which means that while I have limited mobility in my legs, um, I am fully functioning with my hands. So basically, with my car, which I do drive, is modified to where everything, the accelerator, the brakes, the blinkers, the wipers, everything is on the steering wheel, where I can use my hands um, to do all of that. So I'm quite capable of driving, and I do actually have my license, and I have my car. So I do like to go for a drive every now and then. My car's actually not working at the moment. It's got a flat battery, but um, I when I got my license, that was the first real feeling I got of independence. It was a big step in me being able to go out on my own, do my own things, um, and gave me a better sense of freedom to do what I do. So, yes, driving is a big one for me, and I am quite capable of driving. Um, so, the next one is, how do you cope with your disability? Now, like everyone, I do have good days and bad. Um, Everyone, for one reason or another, is going to have good days or bad. I've always maintained this. Doesn't matter, like, disability aside, it is human nature that everyone, whether they've got a disability or not, is going to have a bad day. Now, the key to managing a bad day or overcoming a bad day is to try and minimalize the stress of what you may be going through in those times throughout a bad day. So, as I've said in the past, planning ahead can minimalize the stress. You've actually planned for something, and me being someone with a disability, I have to plan a lot of things in advance, because if I'm not ready for certain situations, then things just aren't going to work out. That's just the way my reality works. So I learnt early on that I do have to, in fact, plan for a lot of things, because I have to basically plan for the unexpected, um, because things happen with a disability, and you get thrown a curveball quite a lot. Um, that's just a reality of life with a disability. Um, this one I haven't heard for a while, but um, I do get this semi regularly. And the next question would be, how did you get those scars? Now, those who know me well know that I have got quite a lot of scars. I will go through a few of them. When I was born, I had a shunt put in my head at 2 days old, which was about 30 stitches, something like that. On top of that, day two as well, I had to have the hole sewn up in my back, which was another few stitches. I'm not sure how many exactly. And as well as that, I had a few more. And I think up until I was probably about 14, I was constantly in and out for different surgeries and whatnot, just to correct things and keep me running at full capacity, or at least say 70%. Um, I wouldn't say anyone runs at 100% at any given time. That's just reality. We're not perfect. We're just human. And I really don't believe in 100%. I think we can run as good as we can. We can run to our fullest potential. We can live up to our own standards. But I do not think that running at 100% is actually possible without burning yourself out. Um, so another one would be, what happened? Now, a lot of kids especially ask me this one, because they're not quite aware of what a disability is about. And I do get that. Their young little minds haven't quite learnt about disabilities and what they involve and things, so they automatically go to something that they may think, I may have had an accident, and that is understandable. And to be honest, a lot of people, when they meet me, assume that I've had an accident. But in which case, I just have to, in a child's case, I have to simplify it. Um, if they're too young, I just tell them that I've got a boo-boo or an ouchie. Um, then as they start getting older, say 9, 10 years old, then you can sort of ease them into the idea of um, Joel has a disability type thing. And then onwards from that, teen years, and that you start to explain the ins and outs of what the disability is and what it actually involves. And that is the easiest way to explain things to children upwards. Um, so I have worked that out, and to be honest, when I was a child, a lot of kids didn't have the awareness that they do as of now. We live in a new generation. The kids, I don't like to say it, but they're a lot smarter now, with the internet and whatnot. Um, so with that, they 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 are educated on things like disability and everything else. So I love the fact that about this new generation, the new kids that are coming up, they can actually have the confidence to just come up and approach me if they have questions. I actually welcome that. I prefer that to other people that would just maybe sit back and stare and wonder. I would much prefer to actually be approached, because I am quite approachable, and for someone to just ask me. I'm an open book. As I say, I don't really get embarrassed that easily. Um, yeah, a few things may be embarrassing to me, but I'm usually pretty good at getting over that embarrassment. So I do welcome people to ask me questions of any kind. Um, so the next one would be, is there a cure? Now, while they've made many advances in spina bifida research, um, I would not say that there is a cure. There's this new thing that they have been doing that I read an article about the other day, how they can actually do some sort of operation while the baby is still in the womb, which I'm not quite sure how that works, but um, it isn't actually a cure for them to be able to do that, but it does reduce the risks of further complications. So with spina bifida, there is no cure, but I myself would say the cure for spina bifida or any other disability is a positive mindset. Um, because I really don't see myself for my disability. As far as I'm concerned, society has labelled me disabled. They've put the name on the condition that I have. Um, but I will not let that label limit what I am capable of. So that, I believe, in my opinion, is the cure, a positive mindset. Um, Now, a lot of people ask me, do you wish you could walk? And going back to what I was saying earlier, a lot of people I see, friends and family and everyone else, say, oh, I wish I could sit down. I've been walking around all day. Now, to see them complaining about walking around all day and then for them to turn around and ask me, do you wish you could walk again? To me is a little bit of a contradiction. Um, because in one way they are making out that walking is fantastic, and then in the other way they are turning around and complaining about it. So if people ask me, or people that have asked me, do I wish I could walk? Yeah, I have fleeting moments where I wish I could give it a go, at least. And I actually can with crutches. But I choose not to, because it looks like a hassle. So, so to answer that question, I really don't wish I can walk because so many people complain about it. Um, so the next one is, why are you so happy all the time? Now, look at me. I'm enthusiastic, I'm excited, I'm just full of life. I live every day to the fullest. Yeah, I have a bad day every now and then, but those little roadblocks when I'm having a bad day or even a bad moment, um, I'm usually quick to get past it. This is because I am very self-aware of myself. I've got a very high level of self-awareness. That is a beginning. To have a heightened self-awareness can help us in those moments to better understand our emotions and our feelings when we are going through some stuff that might irritate us or frustrate us, um, or make us sad or even make us happy. To understand what triggers every emotion that we have is a beautiful thing. Um, that means we fully understand ourselves, we fully understand who we are, what makes us tick, what, like I say, what we get sad about, what we get happy about. We then learn as far as life purpose, what we're supposed to do in our lives. It extends when we understand our emotion. It extends and opens up a whole other world of possibilities. Now, to answer the question, why am I so happy all the time? I'm not happy all the time. I'll be quite honest. I'm at this moment. I've just watched a game of football actually, and I'm not quite happy about that. But football is just a game, so that's one way to look at that situation. For example, um, but yeah, I'm not happy all the time, and I'll be quite honest about that. And with that, when I have these moments where I'm feeling many different feelings and emotions, I have just learnt to manage them. I know what triggers these emotions. I know what ticks me off. I know what makes me sad. I know TV shows and movies that I can't watch because they will, for one reason or another, trigger my emotions. Um, Make me sad, make me angry. Movies. To understand what movies, even on that level, that you cannot watch because they actually get your emotions going, is a level of self-awareness. So what it comes down to is not being happy all the time. It comes down to self-awareness and being aware of your emotions. Um, so if you could go back and for things to be different, would you go back? Um, People have asked me this question, and this is probably one that I actually enjoy answering the most because this is the thing that actually makes me enthusiastic about life and actually embrace who I am as a 36-year-old man with spina bifida. Now, this question, if you could go back and do things, would you be different? If you could change? And the answer is no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't change my disability. I wouldn't go back to a place where I didn't have a disability if I could. Because every moment in my life, whether it's good or bad, I am grateful for. Because those moments have, in fact, made me who I am. They've made me who I am. They've molded me. They are my personality. They are my emotions. Um, without, I believe, without the disability, I would be a totally different person. And with that, everything that I do and that I am, my entire personality and my emotions would be different. Um, Now, I actually love who I am. I love who I am. Um, Over the years, I've learnt compassion. I've learnt empathy. I've learnt just to love everyone for who they are. I have developed a very kind heart over the years, and that's not even tooting my own horn. Um, but I attribute that to the fact that I myself have been put in a lot of sticky situations over the years, and with that, I have learnt to have compassion for others that are struggling in any way possible, or any struggle that they have. It sort of hurts me when I actually see firsthand friends, family, and anyone. When I see others struggling, it hurts me more to see others struggling now than it does when I'm hurting. A lot of the time, because I've learnt to manage my emotions, I still feel my emotions and my feelings and all that because it's not good to bottle it up. But in that way, it hurts me more to see others in pain than it does to see myself in pain, because I myself know how to manage my own emotions and feelings and whatnot, where I think some other people might not have that level of self-awareness. So this is why, probably the main reason that I became a life coach, because I want to get the best out of people. I know people are capable. I know they have what it takes to succeed. I know that whatever they're going through, I can help them with, because I've been through it. I've been put through the wash more times than most human beings, and I've come out the other end a damn superhero. So, this is me. And I actually, as someone with a disability, I embrace who I am with all my heart. So the next one, similar to what happened, would be, are you okay? Now, yeah, I'm fine. Um, I think, again, this is a question that a child might ask, which is fair enough, because, again, they don't quite understand the ins and outs of what a disability is, and, again, they might, in a different way, think that I am sick of some sort. I have some sort of illness, and that's just a lack of understanding on their part. But I do understand that, because they're children and they haven't quite worked out what a disability is, again. But yeah, are you okay? That is another question I get asked by kids mostly. And to answer that question, yes, I'm cool. Um, the next one is, do you need a hand? Now, this one's all good and proper. I actually welcome this. If people do it in the right way, there's a right way and a wrong way to ask me if I need a hand. Um, Now, I mean that in the way that if I'm in a store or a supermarket or something like that, and someone asks me if I need a hand reaching something that might be on a high shelf, yes, that's cool. Um, what people a lot of the time fail to realise is that I can read facial expressions, body language, and tones of voice. So, with that, if someone asks me in a way that makes me feel like I'm not capable, I will reject their help, whether I need it or not. Because, and this sometimes can probably be me taking things out of context, because that is another thing that a lot of people with disabilities do, because for one reason or another, we do at times have comprehension problems and whatnot. Um, so a lot of the time, I will take it to mean that someone can be asking me in a condescending kind of way that makes me feel like I'm not capable. Um, Now, as I've said multiple times, I'm quite capable. That's why I'm a superhero, because I'm capable. I've got the cape on. Um, so I do love people that take the time to come up to me and say, genuinely, are you right, mate? Do you need a hand? That's cool. Good for those people. You're alright. Um, Now, if you, for example, come up to me and say, oh, do you need a hand? Then that is condescending. And to me, that is like putting a red rag to a bull. Um, that does not make Joel happy. Um, so those are the differences between, you know, the tones of voices within that question. Do you need a hand? There is a right way and a wrong way to ask me. Um, Now, the next one, is it hard having a disability? And the answer to that is yes, at times. But in life is hard sometimes. Um, Things aren't always going to go as planned. Things are going to get thrown up in the air. Um, we might plan to do something, and those plans may be cancelled. You know, we might be planning to go, say, for example, to a water park or something fun like that, but it starts raining. So the rain prevents us from going to enjoy whatever we're doing. That is a restriction in life. Um, Things aren't always going to go as planned. I realised that early on in my life, and with that, again, the self-awareness, me being the self-aware individual that I am, know with my disability that a lot of the time this is going to happen, more often than not, in fact. So, with my disability, I have to then plan ahead. I've got to plan multiple different scenarios as to how a day's going to plan out, because, for example, I do get headaches a lot. To be honest, I've got a little bit of a headache now, but it's not bad enough for me to cancel everything and take it easy. Superheroes got to keep up appearances, so with that, I have to plan for headaches. Going back to what I was saying about going to the toilet earlier, I have to plan. If I go on a trip, I have to take extra stuff to to cater for that. I have to, if I go somewhere, I have to in advance. If I'm going in a new car, maybe I'm going with one of my friends or something, and I haven't been in their car before, I've got to ahead of time work out whether my wheelchair fits in their car, because quite often in that situation I have tried to wing it a few times and worked out on the day at the time we are supposed to be leaving that the wheelchair doesn't in fact fit in their car, so we've had to make other arrangements. So things like that have to be planned ahead. Now, last but not least, and this is probably the weirdest question of all, is it contagious? Is spina bifida contagious? No, you can't catch it. Um, so I actually do tell these people straight to their face that no, you cannot catch it. It's not sexually transmitted. Um, and anyone that I come into contact with, friends, family, all of that, it is of their knowledge, at least, that everything's cool. I'm cool. Like I say, I am a superhero. But what the reason I call myself a superhero is not for the reasons that people think. A lot of people mistake my calling myself a superhero for some sort of ego thing. It is not. I call myself a superhero because as a proud man with spina bifida, I am capable. You are capable too. We, together, as a whole, speaking to the people with disabilities, other people with disability, spina bifida or otherwise, you are capable. You are capable of doing anything and everything you put your mind to. So with that being said, it's all about achieving the right mindset. Now, with that, on that note, these have been a few of the frequently asked questions that I get asked. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit the notifications bell if you enjoyed the video. And I will, in fact, see you all tomorrow with another one, and that one is going to be communicating with disabilities. The do's and do nots of communicating with people that have disabilities. So that will give you all something to look forward to tomorrow. I am Joel Mahony. I am super. I hope you are super too. I send you love. I send you light. And I send you peace. So I will see you on the next one.